An end now in sight 2 years after the October 7th attack. Israel and Hamas have agreed to the first phase of a peace plan as all remaining hostages will now be released. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendall. Barley. Brandon cameraman is on assignment. That news coming down just under an hour ago as peace talks in Egypt entered its third day. In a statement on social media, President Donald Trump saying, quote, "This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable and everlasting peace." KVAL's Tiffany Lewis is with us in studio after traveling to Israel at the beginning of September. She'll be joining us later on in the show to recap her experience and speak on the emotions of those hoping for closure and an end to the war. But first, we do have major developments tonight out of Portland. New tonight, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that the Oregon National Guard can be federalized but not deployed for now. The administrative stay, says that President Trump will retain command of the 200 Oregon National Guard troops and have been put on active duty, but those troops cannot be deployed to Portland. The decision only applies to the original ask from Portland and the state of Oregon to halt the Oregon soldiers from being deployed. It does not address a separate decision by a U.S. District Court judge to halt deployment of troops from other states. That restraining order has not been appealed. An administrative stay essentially freezes everything in place, giving the appellate court time to make a full decision on that case, a move called preserving the status quo. The next hearing, scheduled for Thursday, will decide whether to pause the district judge's order while the Trump administration's appeal works through the court. Now, Oregon's Attorney General responding to the order on social media saying, quote, "As a community, we need to come together and help make sure the men and women of the Oregon National Guard are sent home as soon as possible. That means keeping Portland peaceful and safe while our fight in the court moves forward. We look forward to making our case in tomorrow's hearing."
And the motion passes by a vote of 8-0.
And in Eugene, just like that, Eugene City Council hits the pause button on flock cameras throughout the city. That vote coming during a council work session following a presentation on the flock cameras by Police Chief Chris Skinner. Councilors peppered the chief with questions about the cameras, privacy and cost top of mind as concerns were raised about the initial grant money running out. City Councilor Eliza Kaczynski made a motion to turn off the cameras, while Council President Greg Evans suggested pausing the use of them for more discussion on the issue of privacy and access, as well as the cost.
Councilor Evans' motion passed. There would be no expectation of the council that we turn them off and we move to terminating the contract or we move to figuring out what happens with the grant. It would simply be we pause usage of the cameras until there's additional discussion about what ultimately will end up happening.
Now, there were actually two votes. The second was to replace Kaczynski's original motion to turn off the cameras. Flock cameras have been an issue we've been covering since they were first installed earlier this year. All of that previous coverage available on our digital platforms. Tonight, first responders in Sweethome receiving funding to help care for firefighters. Occupational cancer is the #1 killer of firefighters. That is according to the International Association of Firefighters. The Sweethome Fire District has had cancer and cardiac illnesses surface among their crew, and a new federal grant will help catch health issues earlier. KVAL's Gold Meadows explains.
Sweethome Fire District now has the money it needs to stop line-of-duty deaths thanks to funding from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. $126,000 assistance to firefighters grant was approved in September. Now, for the first time, the district's 74 firefighters will receive physicals and cancer screenings that are National Fire Protection Association compliant. Their goal is to target life-threatening conditions like cardiac risk and cancer in firefighters early to ensure they make it home alive.
My job is to make sure that, my firefighters go home every day to their families. And, it's one thing to be the incident commander on a fire and make the right decisions to get them out of that fire. But in the long run, they're exposed to a lot of things that I can't prevent. And so to know that we have this as a way to find those things and hopefully take care of them, that's a big deal.
Battalion Chief Shannon Petner says the fire district hopes to establish long-term funding once the grant ends to continue providing the screenings. One firefighter tells us he feels safer knowing they'll have these screenings.
Being able to get screened for cancer and also cardiac illness is really important. My generation, we're pre-exposed, whether that's through food or the environments we're in. My generation's pre-exposed to cancer, and this job, it definitely increases that chance. And the pre-screening is important because it allows me to catch things before it becomes stage 3 or stage 4 cancer, and keeps me around that much longer.
The district was also the recipient of just over $5 million from the U.S. Forest Service and USDA. That community wildfire defense grant is aimed at improving wildfire defense for the region. In Sweethome, I'm Gold Meadows reporting.
Now, Sweethome's Fire Battalion Chief says the physical and cancer screening together cost about $900 per firefighter a year. Meanwhile, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. A way to regularly check for signs of breast cancer is performing self-exams. Doctors in Lane County say the purpose of a breast self-exam is to become familiar with your body. When performing a self-exam, check the entire breast and armpit area, pressing down with light pressure, and feel for any new lumps, swelling, or skin irregularities. While self-exams are an important tool, they should not take the place of a mammogram.
So to some extent, it's a conversation with your provider when you're looking at when to get your first mammogram. Usually the standard age is around 40. Some people don't need mammograms that early, and you can discuss with your provider if you need them every year, every other year. As you get older, they tend to become less frequent. There are some people that need them even younger, in their 30s, and that would be for someone who has a close family history of breast cancers, or gynecological cancers can also run with the same kinds of genetic risk. So if that's you, ask your doctor a little bit earlier.
Any changes in breasts discovered, any changes, in breasts discovered during a breast self-exam should be reported to a healthcare provider right away. Now, this comes as a major movement in Lane County is hoping to raise both funds and awareness for breast cancer research. The Men Wear Pink campaign, which KVAL's Brandon Cameraman is an ambassador for. Brandon is live tonight at Chief's Brewhouse in Coburg, as he is hosting one of his fundraising events this month. All of the proceeds benefiting the American Cancer Society. Brandon, you're in all pink tonight, and that's not the only pink we'll see in Coburg.
Kendall, totally all pinked out, and there will be a lot of pink tonight in Coburg. We are here, yes, at Chief's Brewhouse for the second straight year. Chief's kind enough to offer this night of special activities for the Men Wear Pink campaign. We're raffling off some tickets that will earn someone in this restaurant this awesome bike. One of the great things that's going to be here at Chief's, and it all starts with ordering some pink beer that they made especially for this event, some Chief's light pink beer, and each order of this pink beer, you'll get a raffle ticket into the raffle for the bike. It's not just that, though. They're also having their burgers and brew, which if you order that, 20% of the proceeds from that will go towards my Men Wear Pink campaign. We're about a week in, a little more than a week now, and we've been doing amazing as a chapter. Men Wear Pink of Lane County, one of the top chapters in the entire country, and this is an event where we can really do well to raise a lot of money. So yes, it's just after 5 o'clock right now. This event will really get going at 6. We're going to have bingo. There will be a ton of people showing up. Wear your pink. Come on out to Chief's Brewhouse in Coburg, right on Willamette Street, and we'll be serving this pink beer. We'll be having burgers and brew. We'll have all sorts of activities, and maybe you're going to be this person who wins this awesome bike, which is beautiful, and got a little bit pink ribbon. It's all pink and decked out, just not quite as bright and pink as this. But yeah, it's going to be a great campaign. We hope to see everybody come out. Love the food here. They do such a great job, and they were so excited to have this night in October for breast cancer awareness. Doing it all for a good cause. So scan the QR code or come on out to Chief's tonight. I'll be here until about 8 o'clock. So 6 to 8 o'clock is the main time for the event. Live in Coburg, Brandon Cameraman, let's go back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Brandon. Go ahead and order some beers and put my name in for that lovely bike, if you will. And tonight we are asking you at home, scan this QR code if you haven't already. Have you been affected by breast cancer? A low number of voters coming in so far today, 23 saying yes, 13 saying no. Our intention in asking this question also is for people who may have friends or family members who have been impacted by breast cancer as well. If you'd like to participate and haven't had a chance to scan that QR code yet, just head to our website, kval.com.